Sometimes people who look eerily alike aren't even related, and sometimes total strangers share more facial features than actual siblings. So let's dive into a list of celebrity lookalikes that will make you question reality. So go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's do this. For the longest time, I was convinced that the Viking warrior Ragnar and the rebellious biker Jax were played by the same actor. I mean, can you blame me? Travis Fimmel and Charlie Hunnam look like they were separated at birth, or maybe even built in the same lab. Travis, the Australian heartthrob behind Ragnar in Vikings, and Charlie, the British badass from Sons of Anarchy, are both 45 years old, both rock the scruffy beard look, and both give off major tough guy with a sensitive side energy. And the resemblance goes beyond just facial features, their vibe, their mannerisms, even their fashion sense. It's spooky. Things got so confusing that Charlie was once kicked out of a bar because the owner thought he was Travis, who had caused trouble there the night before. If you ever spot one of them on the street, don't feel bad if you can't tell which is which. Most of us can't either. Imagine having such a strong celebrity twin that your own family gets it wrong. That's the everyday reality for Timothy Olyphant and Josh Duhamel. Two actors with chiseled jaws, piercing eyes, and charm that just doesn't quit. Timothy is the king of cool lawmen, starring in shows like Deadwood and Justified. Josh, meanwhile, survives alien robots and Transformers and flirts his way through Las Vegas. Both are total pros in Hollywood and could easily switch roles without anyone blinking. The resemblance is so uncanny that Timothy once replaced his family photo with a picture of Josh in a Christmas card, and not even his mom noticed. She genuinely believed it was her son until he came clean.
And my brother says, "Mom, you know that's not Tim, right?" She's like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "That's not Tim in the card."
Your mom didn't know?
She goes, "That's an actor named Josh Duhamel."
Now that's the kind of doppelganger prank you only get to pull it once, unless you're these guys, in which case it probably happens all the time. Jonathan Pryce is a critically acclaimed actor with a long list of hits: Game of Thrones, The Crown, Brazil. But his resemblance to Pope Francis might be his most iconic role yet. The likeness is so strong that Netflix had no choice but to cast him as the pontiff in The Two Popes. The result? A performance so convincing that even longtime fans did a double take. The world suddenly realized, wait a minute, he doesn't just play the Pope, he is the Pope. People have actually mistaken Pryce for Pope Francis on the street. Just imagine tourists in NYC thinking His Holiness took a vacation to Times Square. And while the real Pope Francis has now passed away, Jonathan's portrayal lives on. A powerful reminder of how strong the resemblance really was. Zach Braff and Dax Shepard are the kind of celebrity duo that could walk into a room together and confuse everyone. Seriously, even their own friends have trouble telling them apart. Zach, best known as the lovable goofball JD from Scrubs, and Dax, who starred in Chips and Parenthood, share such strikingly similar features that they've basically embraced the confusion. Kristen Bell, Dax's wife, once used a face swap app on a photo of the two, but the result looked exactly the same. Zach even joked that he was going to print it on a shirt and wear it around LA.
I don't know who's who.
And which one is that?
I don't think my wife does either.
Fans constantly approach them thinking they're the other one, and at this point even they admit that they can't always tell their own photos apart online. Now that's next level twinning. Raise your hand if you've ever watched Prometheus and said, "Is that Bane?" You're not alone. Logan Marshall Green and Tom Hardy could pass for clones, and we wouldn't question it. They've both got that brooding action hero thing down to a science. 5 o'clock shadow, intense eyes, and a preference for dark, gritty roles in sci-fi thrillers and post-apocalyptic action flicks. Tom Hardy is known for Mad Max, Fury Road, Venom, and The Dark Knight Rises. Meanwhile, Logan shined an upgrade in The Invitation, but most of the internet still thinks they're the same guy. Things got even more confusing confusing when both showed up at the Prometheus premiere, standing side by side on the red carpet like some kind of alternate universe glitch. Oh, and if that wasn't enough, Logan has a real-life twin brother who also looks just like him. Triple trouble. Some people look so much alike, it's like a sci-fi cloning experiment gone right. That's exactly the case with Nina Dobrev, the Bulgarian-born star of The Vampire Diaries, and Emanuele Tricqui, the stunning Canadian actress from The Mentalist and Superman and Lois. These two have nearly identical features, from their dark hair to their flawless cheekbones, and fans all over the world swear they must be the same person. The wildest part, there's a 14-year age gap between them. Nina is 36 and Emanuele is almost 50, yet they could totally play sisters, twins, or even each other's doppelganger in a movie. In fact, producers should just keep them on speed dial. If one ever calls in sick to set, the other could totally step in. If there were a cloning machine in Hollywood, these two would be the beta test. Leighton Meester and Minka Kelly look like they were born to confuse casting directors. Almond-shaped eyes, glossy brunette waves, and even their facial expressions are eerily similar. Their resemblance was so uncanny that they were cast in The Roommate, a psychological thriller that plays on the idea of identity obsession. Art imitating life, anyone. At this point, it feels like a crime they haven't starred in a comedy where they swap lives. Someone call Netflix and make it happen. Anne Hathaway and Amal Clooney look like two versions of the same incredibly successful, stylish woman. One ruling Hollywood, the other slaying in international courts. Anne dazzles on red carpets with award-winning grace, while Amal fights for justice looking like she just stepped out of Vogue. They both have impeccable posture, magnetic poise, and the kind of face that says, yes, I absolutely read 10 books a week and still have time to host a charity gala. Anne once joked in an interview that being compared to Amal was the best compliment ever. And honestly, who wouldn't agree? If Hollywood ever does a biopic on Amal's career, Anne's basically already cast.
Do you bear a resemblance to the striking Amal Clooney? Has anybody ever told you that?
I've never heard that.
Really?
Thank you. That's like so gonna be the best thing that happens to me today.
Jodie Foster and Helen Hunt are so similar, you'd think they were part of some cinematic glitch in The Matrix. They've both had long, award-winning careers, and they both rock that cool, composed Hollywood elegance. Jodie is famous for intense roles like The Silence of the Lambs, while Helen's got a more warm and quirky energy in hits like Twister and As Good as It Gets. But even with different vibes, their faces practically mirror images. Helen once went to a Starbucks and the barista confidently handed her a coffee cup that said Jodie. She didn't even bother correcting him. She just tweeted it out saying, "This happens way more than you think." Honestly, iconic. Rachel McAdams and Elizabeth Banks are the kind of celebrity lookalikes that make people stop mid-movie like, wait, is that? They've both got striking blue eyes, often go blonde for roles, and have that polished yet playful screen presence. Rachel is known for sweeping us off our feet in The Notebook, while Elizabeth stole scenes in The Hunger Games as the fabulously extra Effie Trinket. Even though their acting styles differ, the visual confusion is so strong that the internet has made dozens of memes and quizzes about it. And the best part, they're both in on the joke. Elizabeth once said in an interview that she sometimes just rolls with it when fans call her Rachel. Okay, hear us out. This one is a slow burn. You might not immediately see it, but once someone points it out, you'll never unsee it. Mark Ruffalo and Vincent D'Onofrio are like emotional twins. They both got that soulful, slightly weary look and a quiet intensity that draws you in. Mark is the lovable Hulk in the Avengers movies, and Vincent gave us chills as Detective Gorin in Law and Order: Criminal Intent. The resemblance isn't just about looks. Fans say Mark feels like a hopeful version of Vincent. We're not saying they should do a buddy movie, but okay, yeah, we are. This might be the most legendary celebrity mix-up of all time. Mark Wahlberg and Matt Damon are so commonly mistaken for each other, they've basically made peace with it. Both are from Boston, both are built like action heroes, and both have that serious but approachable movie star vibe. Their careers even overlapped in crime dramas, thrillers, and action films, making the confusion even worse. Once, a fan excitedly ran up to Mark, calling him Matt and asking for a picture. Mark just smiled, took the photo, and later posted it with the caption, "Close enough." They've actually said in interviews that when people confuse them, they just smile and go along with it. Because hey, if you're gonna be mistaken for someone, might as well be your equally successful doppelganger. So that's it. Before we wrap up, make sure to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and see you next time.